Yes, over here.
Dr. Craig, I know you wanted to kind of stay away from the epistemological questions, but I need some advice. Because accepting an objective good, I guess, where do we go from that practically? Because something happened to me last night where, I mean, I've been a Christian, but last night God appeared to me and he told me that homosexual lovemaking was every bit as beautiful and loving and good as heterosexual procreative sex in the system of marriage. And he said, come and let everyone know that. I said, no, God, they won't believe me. They will not believe me. How do I? Where do we go from here practically with divine revelation? Do I leave my church and follow?
Your feigned sincerity about this, isn't fooling anybody. It's not the topic of tonight's debate. I'm not even going to address a silly question like this.
I didn't mean to offend you. I'm serious.
Sorry, we aren't doing follow-up.
My sincere interest is having a substantive exchange of ideas on these important questions and not just scoring rhetorical points or winning a debate. I thought I had very interesting criticisms of Harris's moral theory that I really wanted to press and was anxious to hear how he would respond. And so my interest is in having a real, honest-to-goodness substantive debate. And that was what the organizers of the debate wanted, Kevin. They had a debate there last year at Notre Dame, and it was one of these rhetorical, fluffy slugfests. And Michael Ray, who is a professor of philosophy at Notre Dame, said when he asked me to debate Harris, we would like to have a more substantive, intellectually responsible discussion this year. Students at the University of Notre Dame are all required, no matter what their major, to take 2 philosophy courses and 2 theology courses as part of their undergraduate education. So this is a fairly sophisticated audience. And Michael Ray and the organizers of the debate felt that they owed it to the students to give them a more substantive intellectual exchange than they had had last year. And that was what I was anxious to do.
Bill, this is the first time that I've seen you actually get a little bit perturbed. You were calm, civil, but especially with the questions that started coming up. I mean, first of all, you saw that obviously there weren't going to be substantive responses, but there was going to be kind of a demagogic bully platform. That's enough to say, oh, come on, let's salvage this. But then the questions that people started coming up and asking.
Yes, everybody has commented on the level of the questions that were asked. And I think what needs to be understood is that these were not necessarily University of Notre Dame students. The Michiana Skeptics Society from southern Michigan and northern Indiana were there in force, and they go for the mics right away when the Q&A time comes up. And you could see from the level of the questions that this was really, I think, one of the poorest Q&A periods that we've ever had following one of my debates.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really been a debate that you've just said, look, I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. It's obvious what you're trying to do here. And the moderator
it was a
also,
setup. It was clearly not a sincere question, but was designed to trap me. And I'm just not going to play that game.
Once again, I'm going to ask the so-called free thought community, the new atheist community that's growing in this country, is that what you want? You pride yourself, allegedly, at least the free thinkers of the past have been, on thinking and wanting to get at truth. I don't see that anymore. Have you moved away from that, my free thought friends? Have you moved away from wanting to get at truth and civil discourse and intellectual stamina and engagement? But, Bill, a lot of this is because with the growth of any movement grows the fringe. With the growth of the new atheism comes the growth of village atheism. And we're seeing a spate of village atheism now. Our atheist friends are going to get a dose of your own medicine because we've always had to put up with the fringe in the Christian world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.